was thinking, why don't we start lying down? And that means the back can relax a little bit. And we can do some grounding. So, I know it's really simple lying on the floor, but to get your position right, kind of lift up the hips and settle them down so you're lengthening the tailbone away from you and tuck the chin in a little bit. And you could lift the shoulders and just lengthen them away from the hips as well. So you're nice and long in the spine and it's like you've laid the spine down with a bit of space in between the vertebrae. And you can have your knees bent if your lower back feels a bit tight. Knees can be together. And just take a couple of deep sighs to let go of the breath. And just pay attention to the feeling of the body on the floor. Just the backs of the hands, the arms, the head, the shoulders, the buttocks, the legs and the feet. Bring your awareness into the back of the body. And it just feels like a softening, as if you could melt a little bit further now into the ground. Start to think about connecting with the earth that's beneath you. And it's as if you could send out tree roots through the back of the body, through the tailbone and the heels, backs of the hands, and let the roots just work their way down into the darkness of the earth. So that as you breathe out, you can let all of the day out through the roots, any of the tension and kind of electricity built up in the body, let it ground through your roots. And this is like a coming home. It's recognizing yourself as one with nature. Where we get so separate when we're in the busyness of our day. So this just breathing and being with the earth and being connected to nature just reminds us of our part in nature. So slowing down the rhythm. And just start to take a couple of deeper breaths into the tummy so that the belly can really expand now. We've had a couple of moments resting. The breath might feel a bit easier coming down into the belly. And as you bring that breath into the fullness of the belly, you could even just hold a little pause at the end of the breath. As you exhale, a little pause at the end of the exhalation. So as you fill up, you just pause at the end of the breath. Just notice any of the tension in the tummy. And as you exhale, release any of that tension, and you can really blow it out through the mouth as well if you want to. And then start to take the breath into the belly and then up into the chest. And the same thing, just holding the breath in the chest and letting the breath out, holding the breath at the end of the breath and breathing back in. And as you hold the breath in, just noticing any tension in and around the chest and the heart. And as you breathe out, allow that tension to go with the breath. And the next few breaths, take them all the way in and visualize the breath coming up into the head. So you can visualize just space being created in the head and in the front of the head and all around the back of the eyes. And as you exhale, let the tension out through the breath. So the breath comes in, creating space in the head and in the brain. And then releasing any tension. Just one more breath like that. And then next time you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead to the floor behind you. And as you exhale, let the hands come down to the floor next to the hips. So you inhale, take the arms up and overhead. And exhale, take the hands down beside the hips. And just keep going like that. We'll do one more time, down and up. And this next time that you reach the arms up and overhead, then leave them up and overhead and clasp the elbows. So you're holding onto each elbow if that's comfortable. If not, absolutely fine, just to leave the arms extended away from you. And stretch the legs out. And take the legs over to the right hand side and cross the right foot over the left foot. So your feet are over to the right hand side of the mat. And then just draw the elbows and the shoulders over to the right hand side as well. So you've got a nice bend, a gentle stretch on the left hand side of the body. And you can let the head drop towards the right armpit. Finishing off that breath there and come back to the centre and then shuffle the feet over to the left hand side and then cross the left foot over the right ankle and draw the upper body, shoulders and arms over to the left hand side and then just drop the chin towards the armpit and a few nice long breaths. And then we'll bring the head back to the centre and let go of the elbows and bring the knees up. And we'll just bring the knees in and hug the knees in. And for a few moments here, just circling the knees away from you. So you're holding onto both knees and circling them towards you and away from you. And then changing direction. And then hug the knees in towards you. And take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, bring the nose up to meet the knees. And as you inhale, let the head come back to the floor. So exhale, bring the nose up. And inhale to rest the head. And just a couple more times like that. And this last time, let's hold the nose up towards the knees. So nice tight hug. And then let the head rest down. Hold onto the right knee and extend the left leg away from you. And then we're just going to send the right foot up towards the ceiling and rotate through the ankle. So the right foot is extended towards the sky and circling the ankle in both directions. And then just peel the toes back towards you so you get a nice stretch on the hamstring. Deep breath here, and then as you exhale, hug the knee in again. So inhale to press the sole of the foot away, and exhale to hug the knee in. So a few times like that. And then hold the stretch, hold the back of the thigh, let the toes come back towards you. And if you want more of a stretch, you could lift the head and the chest up towards the thigh. You could hold the leg higher up. And rest the head back down, hug that knee back in. And then extend the left leg away from you. So the toes are peeled back towards you and lift the left leg up nice and high. So you're hugging the right knee in and you're lifting the left leg up. And then as you exhale, lower the left leg down towards the floor, but don't let it touch the floor. And inhale to lift and exhale to lower. And a few times like this. Use a gentle pelvic floor lift, Mula Bandha. And you can make this as fast or as slow as you like. And one more time. And as you place the leg down, place the foot on the floor so the knee is bent. So left knee is bent with the foot on the floor. And the right ankle is going to rest on top of that knee. So you can press the right leg, the right knee out to the side. So you've got that space where you can reach in between. Well, actually this might be enough of a stretch as it is. So you could press the right thigh away from you and just rock from side to side. Or you could reach through to hold the back of the left thigh and hug it in towards you. And I really like just doing a gentle kind of rocking from side to side as I'm holding in that stretch. So keep that shape in the legs and let the left foot come back to the floor and slide the right knee over so you're cross-legged. Take the arms out in a T shape and just drop the knees down to the left-hand side. So you've got quite a strong twist in the back. You can look towards the right-hand side if it's comfortable. And then bring the head back to the centre, bring the knees back up, uncross the legs, and you can just hug both knees in again and circle a few times. Or just rock from side to side. And then we will extend the right leg away along the floor and hug the left knee in. So extend the left foot towards the ceiling and we're rotating through the left ankle now. In both directions. And then press the sole of the foot away from you as you inhale and exhale to squeeze the knee in. Inhaling to extend the leg away and exhaling to hug the knee in. And this time just extend the leg away from you and hold onto the stretch, maybe holding the back of the thigh. And maybe you want to lift a little higher, lifting the head and chest up, but just stay with the version that suits you. Sending the breath into the leg. And then hug the knee in, hug the left knee in, and activate the right leg so that the toes are coming back towards you. And then as you inhale to lift the right leg, and exhale to lower the leg and without touching down on the floor. So just lifting and lowering. One more time. And then let the foot come to the floor. So the right foot's on the floor and the left ankle is going to rest on top of the right knee. And then again, just press away the left thigh and you can gently rock from side to side. Or if you want more of a stretch, you can hug in the back of the back of the right thigh. So keeping a nice, smooth, even breath as you're practicing. Keeping the prana flowing to unblock all the psychic knots in the body that build up throughout the day and throughout our lives, which our practice helps us to shed a little bit. So the right foot comes back to the floor and the left knee slides over. Arms go out in a T shape and just drop the knees down to the right hand side. And the gaze could go to the left. Then bring the head back to the centre and the knees back up. And unravel the legs. Hug the knees back in, and we'll hold the back of the thighs and kind of go for a rocking and rolling, so you can roll backwards and forwards, just massaging the back on the floor. Trying to roll back on the spine as you come up to seated, and we'll do our little boat balance. As you come up, see if you can balance with the feet off the floor, just for a moment before you roll backwards, and then come up and balance again, and go backwards. And now come up and see if you can hold the balance. It's fine if your feet want to come down. So land the feet down. And then we'll just hug the knees in and really lengthen the back like that. So you tuck the chin in and just lengthen the spine. And then we're going to try that boat balance again. So hold the back of the thighs and lift the feet. So the toes are pointed, and you could extend the arms away if you want to. You could extend the legs away if you want to. And then hug the knees back in. Should we do one more? So, one more boat if you feel like it. And then we'll come onto our knees. So, I'm thinking let's tuck the toes under and sit back on the heels a little bit. Just so you get a nice stretch on the toes. So you don't have to sit all the way up if that feels really painful. You can keep the hands down and then just kind of rock the bum from side to side. But if you're alright being upright, then you can sit up on the toes and just give them a nice stretch. And then come back down and release the toes and kind of pat the tops of the toes and give them a good squeeze. So we'll do a similar thing. So as you tuck the toes under, this time lift into the downward dog, but we're just going to lift the knees up. So just lift the knees and press back into the heels and into the bum, so the knees stay really deeply bent. Lift up the heels and then straighten the legs. Heels are still really high, and then bend one knee and place the other foot down. And then, you know what you're doing, walk the dog. So you're just bending and stretching into the hamstrings. Then lift both heels really high. Lift up the head so you're looking forwards and press backwards into the hips. So you're just getting that extension on the bottom of the feet, and then bend the knees, come onto the tops of the feet. So you're back on the knees, come onto the tops of the feet, and if you like, you can lift the knees here, so you're on the tops of your feet, and you get the stretch the other way around, and you will probably get some clicking, and you can lift the bum up as high as you like, just to get that stretch. That might feel awful, that might feel really nice, so just come down whenever you're ready. And then we'll sit back on the heels again. And come down to a child's pose, so the forehead will come to the floor, and the arms will extend ahead of you. In the child's pose, just bring the elbows together and bring the palms of the hands together, and then lift the palms of the hands over the head. Sorry, the elbows don't come together, the palms of the hands do. So you walk the elbows away from you a little bit, and you can bring the elbows closer together, just so you get that stretch underneath the arms. Lovely deep breathing into the upper back. And then let the hands come down. And now, just coming up a little bit, take the knees wider, so the knees come out wide and the feet stay together, and then it's a little twist, so you take the left hand underneath onto the floor, so the left hand side of your head's on the floor, and the right arm might extend up, and you could even drop the right hand behind your back and kind of hold onto your left thigh. And then unravel that right arm and press the right hand into the floor to bring you back up. And you might want to come up and ease off your feet before you go on the other side, or we just go over to the other side. So sitting on the bum, and then right arm goes through. Then unraveling, coming back up. Back to a kneeling pose. And we'll do one more for the shoulders, which is quite nice. again, you can sit back on the tucked toes if you want, or you can sit back on your heels, whatever feels more comfortable. And then we'll reach up the right arm and let it fall behind your back. And reach for the other hand behind your back, or hold onto the top and the bottom of your t-shirt, or kind of just hold up the elbow like that if that feels more accessible. So you kind of want the chin slightly tucked and the tailbone slightly tucked. And then extend the arms up and press out to the sides of the palms. I'm just coming up because I was tucking the toes and that quite hurt. So I'm going to sit back on the heels now. And then I'm going to stretch the arms up and then take the left hand down behind the back and tuck it in like this and then reach for it. So again, remembering not to really curve the back, just trying to keep a natural curve in the lower back. And then unravel the arms, and again press the palms out to the side. Fingers are up, and then fingers down towards the floor. So it's a little wrist exercise. Fingers up, fingers down. And we're just bringing the energy into the shoulders and the neck and the upper body. And then turn both palms up and raise up. And exhale the hands to the heart. So you might just want to do a few circles in the neck now. So just some intuitive movement into the neck. You can close your eyes and just have a few moments of moving as you'd like. Remembering to allow the breath to help you. And in a moment we'll find a point of stillness. So finding a stretch that feels quite yummy on your neck, and just hold it for about 3 breaths. Let the shoulders relax, and then find another stretch. And hold it for 3 breaths. Let the jaw be soft. And then bring the head back to center. And then we'll come to all fours again, and we'll step the right foot forwards and out to the side a little bit, so you're in a long lunge. And we'll just rock backwards and forwards a little bit. So you can maybe almost come back as far as that you can lift the toes up as you rock backwards. And then sort of play around with side to side and circles as well, so you can kind of bring the hips into this. Free kind of movement, rocking, swaying, circling. And then as you come forwards next time, the left hand stay on the floor and the right hand come to the upper knee. And I'm just gently easing the leg out to the side, and my inner foot is coming off the floor. And then as I press away, I'm just going to look up towards the ceiling. And then coming back to the centre, I'm going to rest the elbow, the right elbow on the knee, and then just take the left arm up and out behind me and just let it rest out behind. So it's reaching backwards and kind of gazing back towards the left hand and making sure that the right knee doesn't drop in too much. And I'm going to drop the left hand down and bring it back to the front and sweep both hands up and overhead. And reach up and maybe look up towards the hands as well. So keep the inner thighs working towards each other if you have the hips dropped forwards. And then bring the hands back down to the floor. Bring the right foot back. And tuck the toes, and we'll do a downward dog to kind of ease out. So either a child's pose or a downward dog, whatever you feel like. And then we'll come back to kneeling and back to the other side. So this time it'd be the left foot stepping forwards. And that just gentle rocking backwards and forwards. And you know, we talked about shoulders and neck and back, but interestingly hips and hamstrings of course have an impact on back and shoulders, because we're all one, our body is all one and everything works together, but particularly hips and shoulders are interrelated. And then you start bringing in the side to side, the swaying and the circling, more exploratory movements. Just being curious as to what's there. What does it feel like if you dip all the way to one side, or pause for a moment? And then as you come forwards, we'll stay in the forwards version. So have the right hand on the floor and the left hand on the upper knee. And then just rolling open the hip. And if you can, looking up towards the ceiling Coming back to the front, let the elbow rest on top of the knee. And then I'm sweeping the right arm up, opening up the elbow and extending the arm out behind. The palm is open and the gaze is back towards the hand. And the left knee is just tracking forwards over the toes. And look back towards the front and we'll sweep the right hand down and then forwards, up and overhead. Hands come back down to the floor. Bring the knee back to kneeling and back to your downward dog. Just for a little unfolding. You can really deeply bend the knees and bring the tummy back towards the thighs. Get that nice stretch in the upper body. And then come back to the knees. And when you're on the knees, then just drop the hips forwards and come onto the tops of the toes. Tops of the feet. And I'm just sort of easing from side to side with the hips hanging forwards. If that feels nice. You can lift up the hips again, and then as we come forward this time, lowering down with the arms bent, so just to a baby cobra. So then just lifting the head and chest up. And as you exhale, lowering down. Inhaling to lift up. And exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. This time we'll lift and we'll stay lifted. And as you exhale, turn to the right to look towards your right foot. Inhale back to the centre. And then exhale to the left to look at the left foot. Exhale back to the centre and let the head rest. And then you could interlace the hands behind the back if that feels comfortable, or you can rest the palms of the hands on the floor behind you. But I'm just thinking lifting and opening the chest and the head, reaching the knuckles backwards, rolling the shoulders open, and just holding for a couple of breaths. If you want to lift the feet as well and the legs, then you're welcome. Nice deep breathing. Just hold for as long as is comfortable. And then rest the head down. Rest the legs down. And then just rock the hips from side to side. And then we've got that really nice crocodile pose, the resting pose. So you're in this same position, but you rest your hands on the elbow. You rest your chin on your hands, and then you turn the feet come out to the side, and the toes are facing outwards, and the heels have dropped in. Just take the gaze down towards the floor. And then let the feet come back in. Let the elbows come back under. And we'll bring the right knee up to the side for that open hip resting pose that we've done before. So left elbow goes away and you can just rest the head down on the left arm. And then lift the head and just extend the left arm to the side. So you're going to lie on the left hand side of the body and bring both hands together and open the right arm up and out to the floor behind you on an inhalation. So you're in a supine twist. And as you exhale, bring the hands back together. Inhale and open the hands like the pages of a book. Exhale to come back together. Just carry on with that movement a couple of times. And then we'll settle in the open twist. So settling onto your shoulders. Or the right arm might rest on the side of the body if it doesn't quite come to the floor. And then close up the right arm again and come back onto the tummy. And whilst we're on the tummy, just come up onto the elbows. And then the left knee comes up to the side. So we've got that resting pose again. Send the right elbow away and rest the head on the right arm. Then we're going to lift the head and send the right arm out to the side. Both hands together. And then inhale and open up the left arm behind you. Exhale and close up the hands. And then just moving with your breath. And the next time that you open the arms, just settle into the twist. And then from there, rolling back onto your tummy. Back into a child's pose. Hands can go down by the feet this time. And then come to lie on the back. And we'll do a final resting pose in Shavasana. So again, as we did at the beginning, those steps to lengthen the spine. And then let the palms of the hands be face up and the feet flop out to the side. A couple of deeper breaths and sigh them out. And then you can just let the breath go. Let the mind come into focus at the third eye space. Whether to see colour there, or shape, or movement, or whether just to sense spaciousness. Or the busyness. Whatever's there, just being with that space. Chitta Cash. Just keep bringing the awareness back to that space. Or back into the sensation of the body lying on the floor. then we're just going to start to bring the attention back into the body. And the breath a little deeper back into the chest. So just feel the tips of the fingers. Move the toes. Maybe feel the tongue in the mouth. And take the arms up and overhead. And we'll just rest on one side of the body for a moment. And then come back up to seated. So we'll come all the way back up whenever you're ready. And we'll just rub the hands a little bit and take the really warm hands and place them over the eyes. And then just massage around the face a little bit, around the skull. And then we'll send the palms up and out, offering out whatever you would like. Maybe a prayer for yourself or for somebody else. And bring the hands back into the heart. Namaste.